Think we're good? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I think for the most part we have everybody. So, that we're okay. Somebody just left. Oh, duh. So for those of you that were here yesterday, we had some stuff that was going on in general chat. We're gonna try and answer as many questions as we can that were brought up yesterday, and all the issues and everything. Try and clear out all the fuck. Too sure. Is general chat gonna be revealed? Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead, and if you guys want to, you guys can go back through general chat, and if you guys want to pick anything out of there, that's completely fine. To reiterate on the rules that I posted on as far as how tonight's going to go, the guidelines for tonight are, with it being an odd town hall, we're kind of going to do things differently. All the Black Velvet will be available and unmuted. One person will be unmuted at a time, and they'll get 10 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes to kind of like discuss their beef or their grievances with Eden and how things have been going, and then we'll move to the next person. With that, whenever that one person gets to talk, we're not going to have any more than maybe 2 to 3 Black Velvet kind of like adding on to it. That way it's like not a whole train of people talking at once. And we're going to try and keep it to where people aren't really overlapping each other as far as talking. That way everybody has their 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes or whatever. Keep on track. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and cut you short. With everything that happened last night, we're going to try and have a serious tone on it. We're not going to do any clown posting. We're not going to, go to resort to name calling or anything like that. We're just going to, go for answers tonight and see how we can kind of change shit. At the end of everything, we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. And then those of you that are not Black Velvet, if you guys want, use voice chat text to kind of say, hey, here's what we want to have changed over time. And we can kind of go from there. As far as Black Velvet, we'll discuss it at the end. Different stuff that we want to present to you guys on how we're trying to improve right now, and so forth. So, with there being a shit ton of people in here, we're going to go ahead and probably just go down the list or popcorn. Do you guys have a preference? I'm going to do popcorn, and I'll just make a vote in voice chat text. And then organize, which is basically us going down the list. We'll do a recap here. We're just going to go ahead and get this sorted out. There you go. So react to that with whatever. Don't worry, Iron. It's a thing that happened last night. I don't think you were here for it. Boogie woogie woogie. All right. At the end, Brian. If you guys have stuff that you want to say, if we get to you or before we get to you, PM it to us, and then we'll say it, and we'll keep it anonymous. You won't be penalized or anything like that if you say something, or if you want, message Maple or one of the staff members and just they can forward it to me anonymously, whatever. You know, I understand people don't want to say something and hurt somebody else's feelings. I get it. All that stuff. So, all right, we are going to start off with Poby, and whenever the Black Velvet, or actually recap. My bad. So last night there was a. Okay. So also, if you want to be like Kudu and you have nothing to say, you just want to hear, PM me that as well, and we won't pick you. We'll just skip to the next person. So last night, what happened in general, Ground Zero, as I nicknamed it, was and this is how it came off to me. It may not be the way that it should be interpreted, but this is just my understanding from last night. I was not here for whenever this happened. I was asleep. Okay, and Pepis also said that he did not want to be unmuted. He just wants to hear what happened. I'm almost there. Well, there was like 3 people there. Okay. So this is what Disco had said. Hello, everyone. In light of recent things, the recent things was a dispute that me, Brian, Disco, and Poby, and Burger Nova had in Minecraft over this base that they're building. Chavez also says to skip over him. Poby says he has a small announcement that in a little bit. But basically, there's this dispute in Minecraft about the base that Brian and Disco were building. And my main concern was it was going into Nova's area, and same thing with Poby's, and Poby and Nova's concern was, well, it's right next to my base, and it's a direct tunnel. And it came from spawn as well. So I went ahead and deleted everything, reverted back to its original, just being made out of stone, and it's back to like almost square one. So Michael had put, hello everyone, in light of recent things, there's a lot that has been on my mind, and I'm sure it's been on your mind as well. Now, approximately a year ago, Black Velvet, before it was so, had revolutionized the server that was run by an owner who was lazy, favoritist, and unfair. For the context, this is Hydra, which we had talked about before in previous town halls, which was a community that we had left. He put, as tensions grow on the server and things slowed down, us groups of friends made our demands, and when they were not met, we left along with many more. Now, during this time, I wrote a constitution of sorts that is how my dream community was to be ran. It was explained explained to a Senate that made votes, all had equal say, and interacted with the community in a meaningful way. I was the one who urged them to make a community, and so I brought my friend ThinkFast, who had experience with it, to help. I showed them all the Constitution, and they all agreed. Oh, that's true. Oh, it's true. We all agreed on it. We all initially had said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and enforce this mindset. Disco also puts, I realize now that the system has failed. Most of the Senate are inactive, and the ones that are active generally don't interact with the community much. Votes do not happen, and the server has quickly changed from a republic to an oligarchy. The server has been failing for a while now, or for a long time, and nothing has really been done about it. The Black Velvet don't help with Eden's projects, and generally we'll just go play something else other than Eden servers. And there's a lot of things wrong right now, and little is being done about it. Growth is nothing compared to what it was, and when there's no growth, people generally get bored. Now, I ask you as a community, is this the reason why you're still here because of how it is, or how it was, because of the friends you made, or that you're making? If you would like to read the rights that the Black Velvet agreed to, they can be found here. I will go ahead and put that in. Hold up. Skip. Okay. I will go ahead and post this in here if it lets me copy the link.
And yes, Poby. Sorry.
Give me one. You're good. 1 second here. I have to open it up and then. Okay. So this is what we all had agreed to. You guys can all see it. However, the main difference between this one that we are presenting to you today and this one that we had originally was if something was offensive to the community and we all agreed that it was offensive, then therefore we would deem it a bannable offense. If you go back through the view edit history, you can clearly see that was edited out. And Mystery had just posted what had been edited out. It's the teal wording.
And it was edited out 18 minutes before he posted it in general chat.
Yes.
Just for clarification. That is
Yes.
August 15th at 2:40 a.m.
Yes. So this, what we had agreed to was edited prior to everything, to what him to what had been shared with you guys. This isn't 100% what we agreed on, and that's why we feel like it was removed. We're going to be getting down to the reason why this was edited and all that stuff a little bit later on, but we just want to make it clear that Michael had changed the Constitution prior to sharing it with you guys. Whether that's a fair thing or not for us to decide, kind of irks us because it's changing what you had said before into, what we have, what he's presented to you guys. So with that, now that we have a clear and everything, has been brought up as far as what happened within past week, or not week, but a day or so, we're going to go ahead and go back down through everybody, and we're going to let you guys kind of explain or ask a question or say something. Again, if you don't feel comfortable with talking, message me. So far we have Chavez, Kudu, and Beppis that don't want to talk or anything, which is completely fine. Maple has also said that she declines on saying anything unless it comes up to it. Brian, if you keep on messaging me, no. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with Poby. And then, like I said, we'll work our way down. Okay, Azazel also said don't pop him. All right. And well, keep in mind, if you don't have a mic or anything, you can just use text chat. That's completely fine. I'll have it open. You can kind of pull stuff in here. Again, if you're off topic, then we're just going to go ahead and mute you. And we're going to answer whatever you had replied with. So, Poby, we'll go ahead and go off with you. And remember, 1 to 3 Black Velvet at the same topic or at the same person. And I'm going to try and moderate the best I can. All right. Okay. Poby, you have the floor.
All right. I just wanted to make a quick thing, make your guys' job easier. Remember, everyone that's, Bumblebee and member, we don't have access to their cool chats, so we don't know what's happened in there. And that's it. Just remember, your opinion is always going to be a bit one-sided.
First, so, let's clarify that using the Constitution, we ruled out the...
You can mute me now, right?
Yes, Mystery's correct. We did vote to stop using the Constitution. This is after Disco and everybody had gotten into an argument, and we had stopped using it. All right. Next up is going to be Disco. And again, you have 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to go to the next person. Again, trying not to veer off topic. Not saying that you will, but I'm saying anybody else that happens to get unmuted, try to keep it on topic. All right. Disco, you have the...
Hello, gentlemen. Ladies. You brought up the fact that I removed that snippet from the Constitution. I'd like to ask you, why do you think I removed that? Because you said you have a theory as to why I did that.
Does anybody else in the Black Velvet want to answer that, or do you want me to?
I have the screenshot.
Well,
mean,
I just want to know why you think I did it.
The reason why I think you did it is because whenever you had originally left, the basis of the argument was if we all deemed something was offensive, such as saying the N-word, and us trying to have a no tolerance policy,
Right.
then that's it. We could enforce a no tolerance policy. The only one who was against that rule was you. You were the one that said, well, if they say the N-word, then, that's fine. You can warn them and won't do that much.
I don't think that's what I said. Yeah.
I'll post a screenshot. 1 second. I gotta get it.
But
Can you post the screenshot of the snippet I put out?
you put out?
I removed.
Yeah, we posted it already.
All right, 1 second.
Can you post the reaction, like who voted for which reaction?
Let me repost it real quick. Now, you think that I removed this because of our disagreement as for warning people in SCP before banning them instead of instantly banning them. But that can't be applicable because in the SIT thing itself, it says you must have a vote to deem it offensive. You must vote. So it's not like people are going from SCP into Discord voting. That has nothing to do with why I removed it. The reason why I removed that snippet is because we never used it. We never...
But we did. We voted on the fact we did use it. We voted on the fact that we deemed it offensive.
We don't need a vote to deem the N-word offensive.
But then why wasn't it in the Constitution?
We had to clarify.
That was already...
We had to clarify because you didn't want to permaban people instantly for saying the hard R.
Yeah,
and we had to deem it offensive to the point that...
Obviously, the N-word is offensive, right?
Was the Constitution public before today? No. This is all This is everything that we had. Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I never. It was more of a guidelines for the Black Velvet itself to go by, rather than, everyone to go by, which is why it was generally kept within Black Velvet. But if anyone asked if they wanted to read it, they could.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not why I removed that, and I don't think the vote on. I don't think that vote was... Okay, well, the argument was about instant banning and warning before a ban, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that
hard R.
Yeah.
And the reason for that argument was because the SCP rules weren't directly displayed in the game unless you were in the Discord, which most people, when they first join the server, don't know the rules because they're not in SCP itself. And I thought that before we ban people, we should warn them because the rules aren't there. You understand what I'm saying? Again, this is like a 4-month-old argument.
So,
and I think it's quite... Go on.
I was gonna say, you said the rules aren't there, but literally, isn't there a button when you before you join a server that says more info that has the rules displayed that Red wrote out himself?
Yeah.
Is anybody on SCP right now that can pull up a screenshot of the rules?
I don't think the rules were in the info when we had this.
Whenever we started the server, yeah. Whenever we started the server up, we wrote the rules. I think even then, I can't really use the ones in Discord, but we had edited the ones in Discord or at least around the same time.
And I remember distinctly that night that we had that big argument about this, that we had said that even if it isn't, we can edit the paste bin right now and put it in right now.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge deal.
And like Chavez was saying, but another argument to that was no one clicks on the info tab. I didn't know it existed.
They should know in general, you're not supposed to say the hard R on basically any online server in a public game.
If you wouldn't say it out in public, then why would you say it at all? That was my argument.
I feel like we're having an argument again from 4 months ago that was already resolved.
Well,
And has
it's brought
nothing to
up
do with the
because
things
you removed
I.
evidence.
Yeah,
You
it's
removed
brought
evidence
up
of it.
because you edited the
It's
file.
pretty clear
that-
the
It had
intent.
nothing to do. No.
Then why would you edit it if
No.
it had nothing to do with
Yeah.
it? Because
Because we never
Then
because we never used
would
it.
you change the Constitution right before you brought it out? If just why? Why would you change it? Even if we
Yeah.
didn't follow it, you said that you wanted them to see what rules we don't follow. So why wouldn't you leave it in?
Because I felt like when I wrote it,
No racial slurs. That's rule 8 or no 9. My bad.
because I felt like when I wrote it, it was vague and very dumb. And when I revealed it to everybody, I kind of didn't want people to like, I don't know, see that because it was vague and dumb, and we didn't use it. That was my main motivation deleting that line.
My main confusion is we did vote on that. You were still in the Discord whenever we had that vote. You voted on it.
What vote?
As far as warning people as to whether or not using the hard R is offensive, or
Again,
if we should, or not if it's offensive, but if we should warn them prior to them being banned.
I don't see the relevancy to the things I said in my paragraph that started this whole thing. Do you really think that single line has anything to do with the things I said?
No, we just brought it up.
Well, can we focus on the things that are actually a problem right now and aren't, like 4 months ago, an argument that was already resolved?
If you would like to backpedal on it, I completely agree. But yeah, we'll talk about the other stuff.
Okay. Whoa! All right. Well, I mean, what's there to say? There's everything in the paragraph. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how you guys want to respond to that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really- it's
I'll
already
respond
there.
to it.
Okay.
As far as everything else that was posted in the paragraph, let me pull it back up real quick. As far as the quote unquote Senate failing, or the system had failed, we're not gonna. I personally did not like. I agree with what's in the Constitution, but it's unrealistic to expect everyone to follow or adhere to it whenever it's something that is not like engraved into our brains 24/7. Another thing with that is, as far as things like slowing down on the server. You're right, they have. You haven't been here to notice it because you left on your accord, but we have all talked about it. All the Black Velvet. We've had town halls before, stating that we're aware of the situations that are going on in Eden and that we're trying to fix it. But it's not something that can be fixed just within a month or two. And as far as the whole Minecraft, as far as why we, I'd seen you had jousted at the whole Minecraft thing, to where it's like not just using SCP, but using Minecraft or just other servers as an example is a different avenue that we can take. I completely agree with the idea that not all Black Velvet are participating in the servers we have, but I also understand that there's different elements as far as family members passing away, or just social life outside of Eden, or just general lack of interest. I know personally myself, I play games with my buddies that I know in real life, so the unrealistic expectation of me devoting 8 hours a day to Eden, it can't happen. Or living across the globe.
Right.
So there has to be there's a difference between understanding the reason why things are slowing down and then just getting upset or angry and saying, well, I don't like it, but then that's all you say is I don't like how it's like that, and then you don't offer any different ideas on how to fix it. If it really mattered to you why Eden was failing, then you would have been here. You wouldn't have left, and you would have stuck through it like everyone else has, spinning their tires trying to get out. If it really mattered to you why Eden is slipping, then you would have stayed here. But it's clear that you
Why?
only brought it up after all
Why?
that.
It's so much more than that. Come on now.
That's what it boils down to. And you I
Is
get
that
it.
what you really think?
Yeah.
That's
After how many times have you said, how long do you think you're going to be in Eden? How long do you think you're going to keep it up? How long do you think you're going to keep on dealing with stuff?
twice.
Yeah. That's not fair to your friends. That's not fair to Mystery or anybody. These guys are your friends as much as mine, and they want you here as well. But that's not my point. My point is, we're aware that Eden is stuck in a rut. Are we trying to do different stuff to bring it out of the rut? Yes, absolutely.
Right. See, I understand that why. I understand that you, especially you, and some other Black Velvet are helping with these things, but the
Mhm.
vast majority don't. The community hardly talks to them at all, even if they're not playing on the servers itself.
I disagree with that. I honestly do, because I know that even like okay, Bumblebees. How many times do you guys see Black Velvet in a VC so far? Like this week, for example. Okay. Now, would you say that somebody such as Disco's perspective would be different because you haven't been in, this Discord for a little bit? Okay, yeah, Chavez, I'll give you that. Where we only have like 1 or 2 people doing the events. I agree. Me and Disco have had that conversation before. Yeah, only till recently, but it had just been brought up. I mean, we're getting better at it. We're doing what you guys have told us to do. All right. Now, that being said, there's a community telling you that the Black Velvet are more active. Not that they've always been active, but that they're at least, there.
Right.
That's the community telling you. That's not me trying to blow smoke up your ass. It's the community telling you these guys are here. We're meeting not just your demands, but everybody else's demands halfway. You see what I'm trying to say here?
Right. I understand.
We're making an effort. But whenever most of Black Velvet are working jobs and have personal stuff going on, can't expect people to just drop everything at the moment's notice just to host an event or something like that. I'm not saying that Eden needs to be self-reliant, but it's hard to do. And I could keep throwing staff members at stuff, but that doesn't fix the issue. Because at that point, I'll just have nothing but staff members and no members. It'd be oversaturated. That's what I tried. I'm not trying to like bang you up or anything on it, but I've told other people that in the Discord before, where it's not something that we can just do all the time. I'd love to. I would love to sit and interact with these guys 24/7 and host events and stuff. But I work on the weekends. I work Monday through Friday. It's hard.
Yeah, the frustration comes when there's 13 of you,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think all of you are working like 24/7, right? You'll have
You can't say that all of the Black Velvet's inactivity has to do with work. Personal stuff, that's understandable. But not everyone has work every hour of the day. And, you'll see them in the Discords and stuff.
Are you saying that all of the downtime I shouldn't spend with my girlfriend? I shouldn't go and
not
learn
at
different
all.
things.
Not at all.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not something that you can just sit there and say, like, let me ask you this. Are you more mad at the fact that we aren't as active as we once were because Like you miss it, or are you just angry because you think it's unfair that we don't devote time into Eden?
A bit of both. You don't have. I don't expect you guys to, and I don't think the community expects you guys to pour your life into this. I don't think anyone expects that. However, it comes to a point where not that much is happening
Mm-hmm.
with any of them
Mhm.
that work can't possibly be just that. You know, personal stuff, yeah, but there's only so much personal stuff that can happen, you know, that prevents you guys from doing anything for months at a time. From anyone,
Yeah,
all 13 of you.
there's no massive months in between stuff. There might be a week or two between events stuff, but you also have to take into account of how do we know what events work? How do we know what events are fun and people will actually enjoy?
Yeah, but who does events, Wyatt? You do events.
We
Yeah.
tried to in July.
Ziffy just
but
had one.
When?
July. I think it was like the first week in July because we had already.
Yeah. Because that was like the 1 week that I had off of work.
Yeah, because we you prepared them beforehand, way beforehand. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's 2 out of 13.
There's like a whole spreadsheet that we had.
Yeah.
But what happened? Yeah. And that's completely understandable. But what about everyone else?
Yeah.
I can't host servers at all because I'm on Wi-Fi, and we just installed steel shelvings in the room next to me, and that blocks my Wi-Fi. I can't even play Dead by Daylight anymore. So that's my reason.
For example, U-Boot, he's on the other side of the word. Whenever Kathy was still Black Velvet, she's, I don't know, under the sea. Yeah.
Moss is across the country. Or across the globe.
Not more than that, but I don't want to talk about it because it's going to be real serious and bad story.
And
I can't have Keiko
Ads and
fucking
Luna
do events
can't.
because his internet gets shut off by the government every 5 months.
Ads and Luna can't. Or Ads and Meg, I mean, can't. I mean, Luna
What?
can't either.
My most of my events never even required me to host a server. Like,
Well,
for
not
example,
everybody's going to do the same event that you're doing. Say.
Yeah, not
But-
everyone likes the same games.
So every single game that you've ever wanted to do event on, I'm not saying that I don't have the option to host a server in that game. I'm saying I have everyone join a server that already exists with no one in it. Because I can't host. Most things I can't host.
Mm-hmm.
People who played the Smash event know that my internet's garbage and that it was pretty laggy. It was really laggy actually. But you guys still had a good time out of it, I hope. At least everyone said. It just feels like you guys are just excusing yourselves, really. Yeah. I can see that, yes. But, at some point you guys gotta, make the jump.
I mean, we try to do events and we make it to our own events too. So
Yeah, that's fun. It's just
Chavez writes, why not try recruiting other people into Black Velvet into a position to host events? But yes and no, because he did the same thing in Hydra. It's like you're putting a lot of responsibility and telling somebody else, hey, by the way, I need you to sacrifice your time to do this. Not really sacrificing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we sort of learned from the past that putting people in those positions doesn't really work from past lives. as like someone who honestly, I think any of you guys in Eden as the community, you guys can host events anytime.
No, absolutely.
Literally all you have to do is ask a Black Velvet to give you access to like events, and boom, post it, and you guys can all host an event.
Yeah, it wasn't even our event. It was something that they did.
I'm sad they didn't invite us, but sure.
Well, all right. We're gonna revisit Disco in a sec. We're gonna go ahead and get some other people on because we spent over 20 minutes talking to Disco. Not that I'm trying to cut you off or anything, Michael, but
It's no problem.
I want to make sure everybody has like a fair chance. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead. Azazel said they didn't want to talk. Maple said that she didn't want to talk. Travis said that he didn't want to talk. Baptist said that he didn't want to talk, and Cutie said that he didn't want to talk. So next will be Badger. Badger, do you have anything that you want to say, or?
I do. Okay, I know we kind of moved on, and we're kind of back. Like, I'm gonna backtrack a little
No,
bit.
that's fine. If you need to backtrack to kind of like say what you wanted to say, completely fine.
Okay. I just want to add on to the rules on the SCP thing.
Mhm.
I think whether or not you read the rules or not, I think they're there, and you're still liable if you break them. Whether or not you read them is still your fault. 'Cause if you
Mhm.
didn't read them, it's your fault for not reading them, and you should still be liable for what you do. And
Right.
I mean, that being said, in all the time I've modded for SCP on the server, I've only had to ban 2 people. I mean, granted, I've been busier lately with work and school and things like that.
Right.
But I generally, because when I started modding, I didn't really get like a real full like rule set because I've never seen the Constitution before today, so I didn't.
Mm.
So the way I've been, like going about it is just kind of my own style, I guess. And what I've done is, I mean, I've always given somebody one warning, or like no matter what they did, I will give them one warning. I'll pull them aside, and I'll tell them what they did wrong. And if they keep doing it, then they get banned.
Right.
Now, I've probably spoken to 10, 12 people, and I've only had to ban 2 of them. And I'll keep a close eye on them and stuff, and see if they'll actually continue. But I mean, generally they tend to be pretty good. So I mean, I wouldn't say the instant perm ban is a great route, but I mean, I respect whatever you want to do. You run the place, but I just wanted to add on to that and the rules and all that and stuff. So
No, yeah.
I just thought I'd say that because that's what worked for me. But that's just my style.
All right. Second here. Does anybody from the Black Velvet like want to talk about that, or? All right, I'll touch on it. I agree to where, as far as the admin, or not admin, but the moderators getting like a tool set or like an instruction guide, don't really give you one other than the rules that we have in the Discord. I agree to where you should be liable for it. I don't think that there'd be any other server, regardless if it's an SCP or anything else, that would just be like, hey, yeah, go ahead. If you drop a racial slur, that's fine. In the Discord server, I know that we have a no tolerance policy. Like, if you join a server and you just spout off some bullshit, like we'll bop you offline. We'll say, hey, fuck out of here. I know I've done it before with people that had joined the Minecraft server that were like Soda's friends and all that shit. I know Maple has as well. Just because, not even just because like personal preference. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to say a social justice warrior because that's not really politically correct. But like, I wouldn't say it outside of anywhere really. I wouldn't say it in public. I wouldn't say it at work. It makes no sense to say it in a server whenever you have to have at least somewhat of an assumption of maybe I shouldn't say this, especially if I'm gonna join and leave like a first impression or anything like that. If it really mattered to you as far as like you really enjoyed the server, you just kind of like play it cool. You know? Sorry, Locke. Sorry.
Red, on that note, couldn't we have lost our like SCP license for it?
Yeah, that's whenever we had the discussion. I think Mystery had posted a screenshot of it in the Ground Zero thing, but they have the ability to remove your hosting license, not just them, but the main concern is if we allowed people to kind of like get away with stuff like that, and it reflects back on us, then either that like the way I see it personally is if we enforce a zero tolerance policy, then nothing bad can come out of us. It shows we don't tolerate that shit, and we don't tolerate the people that say that type stuff. So I can't imagine us having, I forget who it was, but there is a streamer or YouTuber that had joined like the SCP server within like the first month that we had it opened. Imagine if that guy had opened up the server or had joined the server and then seen, oh, Eden's Garden, and then had seen, oh, well, fucking this, they tolerate this type of bullshit. Imagine a dev seeing that. There could be bans or punishment for all of that. So the main concern was, don't allow it. That was it. Don't want our license getting revoked or anything like that. Yeah, racism on SCP is an instant license revoke. So I know that there's a bunch of people that were like pushing for SCP to come back. Imagine if the entire thing would have been tainted because of it. It's a very thin line to walk, and it's not one that I personally am willing to walk on, especially whenever we, not just we, but mostly me, pay for the stuff. I'm not gonna put that at risk. Not only the time, but the money that everybody has invested into this. Why just let it fall down like that? Like I said earlier, I don't think anyone should be saying it. There's a difference between someone screaming hard R and then Izzy's screaming hard R in private VC. I guess I don't really like it at all, to be honest with you. What's the argument that we like and care about these people instead, so we give them leeway? Yeah, no, we straightened it out with Aziz. Toby, don't you guys starting shit. Alright. We'll return to that one as well. Just because, like I said, I want to try and fit everybody in here. Not this tartar, something else. What? Alright. Ah, fuck. Alright, Brian. You're getting unmuted. Don't fuck this up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I want to start by saying it's not about Minecraft. This is not about me getting silenced for no fucking reason. See, with the silence thing, I would not care if it was just
pitter patter.
Yeah. What?
Pitter patter.
What does that mean?
Point. Get to your point.
All right. So each one of you collectively has a big problem, and it's not all the same problem. They're all different problems, and each one of you does different things that are not as leaders should do. Like, why you basically carry everything. You do everything in the events. Well, most things. And it's to the point where like nobody else does anything. Mm-hmm. And so imagine if you had 2 spots, right, in Black Velvet, 2 extra spots that you would elect somebody new from just general, and it was not like you just pick somebody and they're forced into the role. They put their name in the hat. And so if their name is in the hat, then they can actually push things that the rest of the community wants. And it would only be a temporary thing, so it wouldn't be permanent. And like that would help a lot of things, because then you wouldn't just have 13 people controlling everything that happens. And like it's like a Senate, but like with the US Senate, one branch creates the vote, then another branch judges the vote, and another branch decides to make it a law. And so if you are doing that in this server, if you are allowing other people to come in, then you have a more just system for making votes, instead of just making the vote everybody making the vote in Black Velvet and then deciding on the vote amongst Black Velvet instead of having the community do it as much. It should be more of a community decision, because I'm not Black Velvet, as you know, and just the whole decision making is flawed. It's a major issue I have.
Okay, Mystery. Sorry for not letting you interject. I don't want people to interject as a whole, but go ahead.
No. I'm not saying it's just him deciding things. I'm saying like Black Velvet is the only one deciding things. The community doesn't have much of a say at this point. But like it's just Wyatt doing the events themselves. So he's the only one. Like I'm not saying it's just him, but mostly him. Yeah, he's carrying the group project. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not saying Wyatt's a dictator here. No. It's just like it's a group project that everybody's working on, but Wyatt's the only one doing the work, or most of the work. And I think just like it's a lot of stress on him, and he works a lot, and so I don't.
It's not just me that works. I just want to clarify, it's everybody.
Yeah, I know, but you definitely do a lot more.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Black Velvet needs to do more, or at least invite some. I'm not saying, because I know for a fact inviting everybody from normal like other roles to be Black Velvet, just allowing as many spots as possible. That's a terrible plan. But if you have like 2 or 3 spots set aside for just members or anybody who elects themselves, like they push their own kind of campaign, and everybody in the entire server votes that they think this person is fit to be a Black Velvet temporarily, then they can help make decisions that are going to better the community. Mm-hmm. Well, then you should make the votes more community based instead of Black Velvet, because I don't know personally. I don't know what goes on in any of the Black Velvet private chats, like Redacted, whatever. I don't know what goes on there. I just know that a lot of the votes are not being taken into the community, and they're being taken to Black Velvet, and they're from Black Velvet to Black Velvet.
Well,
So
let me ask you this: what votes do you think are not being added into Black Velvet?
what do you mean? Like,
Well, like you're saying, oh well, the community doesn't have a vote on stuff, but I'm curious as to what you think the community doesn't have a vote
well,
on.
a lot of maybe some the events don't have great voting. Like, we should have a anonymous vote system that everything, if you're kicking someone out, right, should have the community vote. Like, think, okay, if the community thinks, yeah, this person is toxic, they should leave, then yeah, you should kick them out, because everybody voted, everybody decided together that this person is not somebody they want in the community. And if you have something like, say, Black Velvet votes on something and there's a big argument and they want to kick someone out, but it's just them. If you have over, like, if you do it over a stretch of a couple days, right? Then you could have, say, how many people are on the server? Like a couple hundred? You could have like over 100 votes deciding whether they like this person or not.
Well, here's the problem with that statement. We have had those votes. We've had them before. T-Spans, I'd like to think of Lynn, Chris, multiple other, just there's other people to where that has happened before. And the assumption that it just happens behind closed doors is wrong. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for thinking that. I'm not saying that it's wrong for us to be transparent about it. It's just that we have done it, and we've gotten it to a point to where, because we've slowed down as far as bringing people in, we don't have to worry about just kicking people out. We have, don't get me wrong, the Black Velvet have discussions on iffy stuff that people do in the chats and everything like that. But not once have we had to kick somebody out within the past like month or two that we haven't had the people involved vote on it. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not gonna say, for example, somebody was sexually harassing somebody in a chat, such as Chris. I'm not gonna reach out to Poby and say, hey, what do you think? I'm gonna take in consideration, who was harassed and all that stuff.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, because the server isn't growing as rapidly. No baddies. That's exactly my point. So it's like we haven't had to do that.
well, imagine if you had, like, publicly, just like this, like something like this, where you ran down the situation, explained exactly what's happening, gave all of the context, all of the screenshots, everything, and allowed everybody to just make a decision and left it in there. And it was just like a voting area where you can, like, I think there is a voting thing, right? Yeah, there is a voting thing. But like, if you ran down the situation, gave all the information that you had available, and allowed the two parties to speak at different times, they could each give their side, and the community would decide which person they think.
No, I agree.
Wrong.
People should be judged by their peers, but it's not something we've had to do in a while. And like town halls, for example, whenever people come to them, we demonstrate, like, hey, before we did the one in July, I had said, hey, here's the plans that we have for July. Here's how we're going to try and do it. Here's what's going to go on. Here's what we're going to have for the first week. We brought SCP up, and we gathered as much info as we could. But it's also, again, A, when we had town halls, B, if there's anything to talk about, C, if anything needed to be delved into. I don't need to spend 10 minutes explaining all the information on something, unless it is like you're saying, towards like, somebody in the community fucking up.
Yeah.
But again, we haven't had that. So it's like, I completely agree, but we haven't had to do it for a while.
No, I know, but that's not the only thing. Like, the other thing is, like, if you have people, or in like Black Velvet, right? You have Black Velvet, and you've got the Black Velvet private things. No matters that really concern the general public should be discussed and voted on in Black Velvet. Any matters that concern the general public should be discussed with the general public. If it's something serious, and if it's something like a person sexually harassing another person, that should be discussed first in Black Velvet, and then brought to the general public. But like, matters concerning the general public should be left to the general public and Black Velvet.
I agree.
Yeah.
But again, we haven't had
walls.
Yeah. So you're saying just more transparency overall?
Yeah, because it's when you have things that are when you're all discussing topics that nobody knows about and nobody even knows there's a problem because until the problem hits them directly in the face because nobody told them there was a problem. People should know that there is a problem when there is a problem. Yeah, except for when it's like.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
I'm just going to say what was happening in voice chat text. In regards to those situations, we kept it private for a reason because even if you take out the person's name, you can still kind of figure out who it happened to and what happened to them. And
Infer it.
that can feel violating to have everyone know that this thing happened and you feel hurt in a way because everyone knows the itty-gritty details of what happened when we can just deal with it as Black Velvet and ban the person. No one knows what happened. No one can deal it's violating. People want it private for a reason. Even if you leave their name out, it's still wrong to keep their to put their situation out there.
No, I get that. I'm saying like a situation like that, some personal matter. If you should ask the person, obviously first.
You have about
they're
another
okay.
minute.
Okay, you should ask the person first if they're all right with discussing this, and if they are, then you bring the situation to a head, and you because sometimes I know for a fact if somebody's sexually harassing someone else or a couple people, if you bring their name into light and you're just like this person is a fucking pervert and everybody should not like them for this thing, that is good because everybody knows now this person is bad and they should not have any contact with them if they're doing these things. And sometimes
I don't know.
Sometimes it's bad.
It's not.
It's like putting a person.
I get it. I don't get me wrong. I understand, but I'm not going to put other people's information out there.
No, I'm saying ask them first. So like if they're okay with it, then yeah. But if they're not, then just leave it as a private matter. But if somebody comes to you and they're just like, I want this person to be exposed for doing these things, then do like an investigation or something.
That's up to them. I'm not gonna post announcements. Hey, by the way, did you guys know that X was this? It's not my job.
I'm not saying announcements. That'd be fucking weird. No, I'm saying like just in general, like make the situation known, what's happening and why this happened if the person wants it to be. And transparency is a major important thing in a government because if you have closed doors, then things can happen behind the doors that may definitely concern the people and will not be addressed just because the doors are closed because people don't even know. Like I said, I don't know what happens in Black Velvet's private chats. I have no information about any of that, but still, some of it should be transparent, the important things. So what are you running it as? Well, you can. Well, thing is, like, you can still run it as a group of friends, and you can just impose a couple government beliefs, like making things known to the public, not things that are personal matters. Personal matters should stay personal sometimes. Sometimes some people, like, I know if something was happening to me that I was really pissed about, I would not want it to be a personal matter. I would want it to be exposed, but that's just me personally. Now, somebody else could have a different belief, but like, even if you're just running it as a group of friends, you're still making decisions for a ton of people, and those decisions that are private sometimes will impact everybody in the entire community. So some of those decisions that are going to impact everybody should be discussed first before they're implemented.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Brian. Not to
That's
cut you off
fine.
or anything.
That's fine.
To answer Jukia, the purpose of Black Velvet was before Eden was a thing. We were all in MNP's prison, previous Discord that we all used to shit talk Hydra. And in that Discord, we had different rules that were set up, different dictators of it. It was a gag or whatever. And then through that Discord, we said, okay, well, here's the people that we want on our team whenever we go to make this new community. And what you see in Black Velvet, excluding Ghost, Kathy, and Disco, were the entire staff. And Black Velvet was just that. It was just staff. And the presumption that I was under at the time was the group of friends that were in Black Velvet isn't going to change. We're not. I'm not saying that I'm turning down the idea of adding more people to the director, or not directors, but to staff. But we're all friends, and we still vote on stuff. It's just that Black Velvet is the circle of friends that we've known for a while, and here we are. Now they're all admins. That was the purpose. Black Velvet were the bees the entire time. All right. Kathy, do you want me to go ahead and unmute you? Okay, remember, I'm sorry that everybody keeps on pouring over. It's just we start to get into like these debates and kind of spills over. But Kathy, you have the floor.
Okay. I'm not sure if we went over this before because I have short-term memory loss and I wasn't there yesterday. Kind of skimmed through the chat, but what was it? Christ, short-term memory loss. I don't have anything against like Disco. I see where he's coming from, but like the way Disco makes it out to be is that the events are the sole purpose, and I understand that like it's the thing to bring in people, but like people bring in themselves, at least the bumblebees and stuff, and they themselves sorry, this feels like English class. They themselves willingly put themselves out there for their own reason. Like, again, they can host their own events and we can host ours. But either way, the bumblebees will still be there because it's not just a community, but it's like a family to them. And, it's hard sometimes because of time zones and school and jobs. But I just want to know, like, why now? Like, why come out now about all this when you had plenty of opportunities beforehand to bring it up to Black Velvet, or at least us first? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess so, since she kind of called you out. All right.
To be honest, I didn't. It's some things that I've been wanting to say for a long time, and now is not the best time to do it. Last night, last week, in the future weeks, would never been a good time to do it. It's just something been there that I wanted to say, and it just happened to come out now, I suppose. It was really nerve-wracking posting all of that, and I think mostly I was nervous to do it. I just sort of hyped myself to say those things. But yeah, that's why now.
Kathy, does that appease you? Do you want to respond or anything, or? All right. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
still 9 minutes, so you guys are good if you want to discuss it.
So, what like brought you to Snap? You can write this or whatever, but like, what gave you the incentive to just put it out now of all times?
It was partly the Minecraft stuff because I was a little angry, and that anger drove me to finally to go ahead and say it. I guess that was just sort of the pusher. I just had a really good time on the Minecraft server, and then I didn't.
Do you
And,
believe that we're falling apart as friends or as a community?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been in here, honestly.
I mean, yeah, but what did you believe before?
I thought we were friends. I also thought that there were certain things that had to be put in order to, like, keep things in line. But I considered everyone a friend, and I think everyone else, all Black Velvet, considered each other friends. We sort of ran it like friends. But I don't know.
But do you think that what do you think is like really going wrong? Like, what's your main like problem with it all?
I think that a big part of it is that spark of excitement and enjoyment isn't there. When Eden first started, it was so excited. It was like, it was wonderful, right? And everyone was always getting in there in the servers, trying to get the shit popping off. People were starting to come in. I remember like our first person who was Detective Google, and it was like, wow, we got a fucking active guy in here, and it was just a wonderful feeling. And I feel like that spark is gone. Yeah, rip Google.
I mean, yeah, but everything burns out. We've gone over our honeymoon phase, and we have the issue with like there's not a lot of games out right now, and people are. It's like
yeah,
at their prime
definitely.
need.
And things fizzle out, but I don't think we should, accept that. I want to, keep it going. Always wanna
So
keep it going.
you want every day to be a constant. You want every day to cater to your idea of a dream community rather than to let people have some cooldown before another.
Well,
I don't know, boom.
all I was saying is that of 13 people that help run this community, I think there should be a bit more. That's what I was saying.
A bit more people, or
No, a bit more going on in general. Events, servers, people playing on the servers, interacting.
Of the 13 people that are left, they still try, and they are the ones that are bringing the community back. They are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe back then it was a bit wonky, but that was because there were some people they had issues with, and those people are, that's been dealt with maturely and talked about. And, it's kind of hard to see that I once called everybody a chain, and then you left, and I also left, yeah, but that was because of other personal issues and not just Black Velvet oriented. I think it's still a community, but I don't think it's anything government based. I think it's like it's a friend group. People get on when they want to get on, and people hang out when they want to hang out, and I have no issue with that. Do you have an issue with that?
It's just, I don't know. I suppose if you guys want to accept that, you can hang out whenever you want. That's just how it is. If that's how you guys want to go about it. I always thought that my main driving for Eden was to meet new people like I met on Hydra, to meet cool ass people like all the Bumbles, to meet everyone. It's just like that whole purpose comes to a crash when it slows down and no one's joining and I'm not meeting anyone. And
So
we're just sort of wall.
So the issue here for you really is that you've become bored yourself because nothing
No,
has really,
I
nothing
would have
new has
stayed.
happened, and
4
it's just the
minutes.
same people.
I definitely would have stayed a lot longer if it wasn't. I would have stayed forever if it weren't for some certain things. A lot of things.
Of course.
You know, I for like the last few like month or so of me being there, it was me just I'm ignore everything that was going on, all the bullshit, and I'm just gonna crank out events, keep everyone occupied, have fun. But it wasn't fun. It didn't end up. I enjoyed doing the events. It was fantastic. Those short like hour or so of the events were just great, but in the downtime it was just sucky.
Disco, I miss you. I'm sure everyone else can say that too because we missed you when you left. And I feel like really that you're just upset because this community isn't the community that you dreamt of. And I understand that it can be hard sometimes and that it is hard. But honestly, it just feels like it feels like you're trying to grasp at straws to tell us or to force us to change ourselves to cater to your expectations of what the community should be. I'm not saying that you're bad or that your expectations are bad, but I'm saying that right now it seems like you're living in a dreamland of your own in your own head, and you should snap back to reality and realize this is what we have, and we should be very grateful for what we have.
And you'd be completely right, Kat. You'd be completely right. Everything that all the fucking dumb art that I created while I was in the server was me trying to make it to my dream server, what it was, or community.
2 minutes.
What it was when we first started this. And that drive for me to keep improving it.
Do you think you were the one that started the community yourself?
No.
Do you think anybody like certain started it?
No. I mean, I think there's some people who had more influence than others. I think some people didn't want to start a community at all. I don't remember who it was, but they basically were like, let's just not do that. But I don't think it was a single person that had the most influence. I think it was pretty.
How do you think we can change this community to be the community that you dream of? What can change that?
Well, it's the end goal, right? People coming in. New people coming in.
Yes, I know. I know you want new people.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
you want interesting people, but
And
how? If you were in here as Black Velvet still, what would you do to change?
I would still encourage activity. I would still be fucking
What you're doing
cranking
is
out
just
events.
you're not pulling any string. What you're doing is just keeping bumblebees immersed, but you're not exactly bringing in new people. Because events are temporary, but servers are not, and there are no great games to create servers on. The problem here are games, not events or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back if I have to pee.
Okay.
It's a hard sell moment. Well, I just ruined it.
He's got to go clean the poop smear off the side of the toilet bowl.
I think you. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I think what you're trying to put out is you think that it's simpler than it is. I think you just think that events mean people will come, but people don't come from one day of being on a server. People come around after days of being on
These
around
problems have been here for Enid's inclining for a very long time, and we have all been discussing. I know it's not that simple. If it was that simple, we would have made a solution to this by now. And events were never my way of a solution. It was really just a preoccupation in the downtime between an actual solution. I never thought events were a solution. I thought of a way to keep people in that we already have. I didn't want to lose people.
Do you think they'd leave? Do you not trust them the way they are? Kobe and Emmy and
I think people have left.
Robin, Grover, etc.
Lots of people have left.
Lots of people? Could you list them for me?
You, Myth. And not that yours has anything to do with the boredom or anything like that.
I know,
I just think that, again,
who as a member has left, and not for personal reasons, but because of the group? Who has left because of something in Eden's Garden that was bothering them, or something about Eden's Garden?
Jeez, I mean, I don't have a list right in front of me. It's hard to remember all the members.
Then what's the first that comes to mind?
Well, the most recent one is Myth.
Myth?
And yeah, I mean, there's people who are still in the actual server. You know, they're in the Discord, but they don't get on anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
That's because of
nothing to do.
jobs and work and stuff, though, right? And yeah.
Objection. Go for it.
Oh shit, we don't even know.
Oh.
No, not even just licking. He twisted it.
Oh. Oh. No,
yeah,
that's Moss.
he didn't just leave.
Yeah, he twisted it and he wanted to try some drama again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yikers.
Basically,
Not everything you do is out in the open, just like Poby said.
Sorry, Thinkfast, were you saying something?
I was gonna make a joke, but I thought it wasn't be the right place for it.
Aww. Still, what do you think? Like right now, who do you think has left because of the community changing, and not who do you think now feels indifferent towards the community as it is growing right now?
I don't know how people
Other
feel.
than Soda.
I don't know how people feel, Kathy.
So then how can you say for certain that it's falling apart if you don't even know how the people who are the main parts of the community feel?
Okay.
How can you make an assumption like that?
Let me rephrase. I have had people talk to me.
Sorry?
And I have had people talk to me. And I, had general consensus on people that some things that are new that they don't exactly like. I'm just not going to say who of those people, but there have been people, and how do I explain this? People can see that it's not growing like how it was when they joined, and I don't think people like that. I don't think anyone likes that. I think that's just a given.
Wait, you think people don't like what? Sorry.
It not growing like it used to.
So you think people are bothered by the inconsistency of the server?
Nah, it's been pretty consistently declining.
I mean,
I just don't.
How is it declining as a friend group and as a community, like separately?
Sorry, say again?
Like, how would you say it's declining? So, firstly, as a friend group, is it declining? And as a community, how is it declining?
Criticism, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's hard not to take criticism personally, but whenever you have the ability to change it, then you should try changing it instead of just admitting defeat, per se.
Yeah.
Secondly, my fucking pizza rolls are cold. God.
Warm them
Go
up,
put
you
them in the
coward.
microwave.
I just... Continue.
What were we talking about?
About how the assumption of saying that everybody is bored in Eden isn't a fair assumption.
It's not. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are. I'm not saying that everyone is bored. I never said that. Okay, what I'm saying is people like how Eden was when it was growing.
Everybody likes the past. We have all went through a honeymoon phase with Eden's Garden and in relationships and stuff, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it's gone. People are still here despite, like, it doesn't. Okay, so let's say there's two people in a relationship. They're in a honeymoon phase, but then they fade out of it. It doesn't mean they don't still love each other. Just because they don't feel it anymore or they don't convey it properly doesn't mean that they still don't care about the other enough to stay for the other and be there for the other. People in Eden's Garden, it's not just Black Velvet that's a chain now, it's also the Bumblebees.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've changed, but we've also learned from some mistakes and we've gotten rid of the bad, or at least the bad people that have done harm to people in the community.
Most of the bad. We still have
Yeah,
Toby.
most of them. Oh, yeah, true.
So Toby.
And, you know, we've done our best, and this is as far as we can come because, as I said before, the issue isn't events or moderation or activity, it is games. We don't have games to rely on that are consistent enough to keep us consistent or bring in new people. Because the older games don't attract the right crowd and stuff. Sorry. What were you saying?
Pardon me. Yes
Nice.
and no. There are games out there that we can host. However, the main concern is staffing, the amount of money, or the resources that are needed on our private server to host, for example. The player counts, what the current news is. For example, if a game came out and a patch comes out and everybody hates it, or say, for example, God knows, Hubert could fucking turn out to be a racist or even worse, a furry. Who knows? And then everybody decides to drop that game. Being a game,
God forbid,
being a game hosting company, or being a game hosting community, I should say.
He said it.
It's
all for the money.
It is. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Why go pee again?
It is like, it's so fucking volatile. It is so fucking volatile because you don't know what's going to happen within the next week, the next month. It's hard for us to predict whenever the SCP is going to have a spike in players. Maple can account where fucking players have been coming in out of goddamn nowhere. So it's like, can't really rely on just like one variable per se. So there are games out there that we can host, absolutely. However, the problem is with the community that we have, everybody is orientated around the same game. I would say all but maybe 5 of you have all came from SCP. I feel like that's a pretty fair assumption. Considering the fact that I know most of you guys, I know whenever most of you guys joined, most of you guys joined around SCP. So we're all revolving around that one game. Whereas if it was Team Fortress 2, for example, it'd be the same thing. And you guys, like, it's hard to suggest new game ideas whenever either A, you guys don't really show reaction to it, or it's inactivity, or who knows. That's my thing. I just want to say it's very volatile and it's hard to predict. It's like predicting the weather because you're not too sure how fast stuff could go.
Yeah. Like, new games, people are reluctant to go to new games, but people are also, like, easily bored of older games. It's really hard to find a balance between the two. And right now, we just need to wait until everybody really is in an extreme gamer moment, you know, where they really want to play a game so much so that they'll finally get into a consistent one with a big player base.
And that was the whole point of my events, was for that downtime between finding something new.
All right. You guys feel like you came to a soft agreement?
Perhaps.
Yeah,
But
I
again,
guess.
Disco,
we can talk more, Cap.
I care about you.
Yeah,
And I don't want
I
you
love
to
Cap.
think lowly of us. Oh, thank you. I love me too. All right. All right.
Okay. Next we're gonna go to Cameron. Again, if you guys are just now joining and you don't feel like talking, message me and I'll take you off the list. Cameron, you're on the line.
Oh, what? What happened? Oh shit. Oh, I didn't prepare anything, my guy.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll come back. We'll come back in case you have anything you want to say. Good shit. Good shit. Good talk. Triple doesn't want to talk. That's fair. I don't think I've ever heard Triple talk. We'll do Emmy. You want to go? Okay. Do you guys want Black Velvet to speak? Anything? All right. Aziz, speak.
I don't know what to say. I don't like talking.
Okay. Ben, you're getting the boot.
Good.
All right.
I love you, Levi.
Ravi, he's muted. Mystery. Hello. Okay. Jukia, do you have a mic? Or are you just doing text? Okay. You want to go? All right. Have at it. You're unmuted on our end, so you have to unmute on yours.
Okay. Can you hear me? I did. It's come on. All right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So I've been in Eden quite a while. About I'd say like maybe 2 weeks after Michael and Eden said, "Hey, this is Eden," and I joined the server, and everything was really great. Eden was a really great server, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to go after anyone here. It's just I feel like if anyone disagrees in chat, it's just like no one holds back. Everyone just has at it and just says, whatever they want. And then, once everyone can hear them, it's kind of different. And I'm not trying to go after anyone here. I was just saying, how I felt, and not only how I felt, but how I see that Disco feels as well, because he's been bothered by this for a really long time. This isn't anything new. It wasn't just because of Minecraft that this whole discussion is being brought up. It's whatever's going on here. It's been a problem. But when Eden really first started, it was really great. And I remember Disco was so excited to just be all about this server, and yeah. And it was so good. Everyone was so excited, and you guys were all such best friends. And it really is heartbreaking to see you all go at each other's throats like this, kinda, and just you guys really don't seem like friends anymore. And I'm not really one to talk because I haven't been active in the server, but it's just, I I wish I could be active, but it just seems like as soon as something's brought up that a few people disagree with, they just kind of have at it. Like Mystery said, "Hey, does anyone know Jukia?" And I'd say about 5 or 6 people said, "Yeah, we know Jukia." So I don't know what was up with that. I'm not trying to like go after anyone here. It's just I just kind of I'm just voicing my opinion, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say what I have to say because of just the situation where if you say your opinion, you're gonna be attacked for it. Like someone's gonna say something to you, and everyone's gonna agree with them because they're Black Velvet. That's no, not that. Yeah. Anyway, in the what was it? In general, last night, a lot of people really showed their true colors in Black Velvet, and it kind of seems like they felt ashamed of it, and so the channel was deleted. I don't know what that was about.
It wasn't deleted. It
The
was just
channel was
hidden.
hidden so that Red could look at it this morning because he was
Yeah.
asleep.
Okay. Alright. I had more to say. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. You guys just this doesn't seem like a friendship. I know you guys say that that's what this is, but it really does not.
Okay.
it doesn't seem that way. I mean, you guys. I don't know.
I'm
okay.
gonna take the handle on this one first and foremost. No. Nobody here. Everybody. I'm just. How do I say this? I'm gonna say no first and foremost to the aspect of everybody in Black Velvet outs one person or anything like that. No, that's not true.
I'm not saying everybody. There's like 3 of you. Actually, not 3 of you.
Can you name a exact example? You're
I'm
that
not gonna
bad.
name any names in front of all
No,
these people.
no,
That's why,
go ahead.
No, that's why this system.
Because
I'm not
it
naming
honestly
names,
feels
Brian.
like you're grasping because there's nothing for you to reach at.
That's not it. I'm talking in front of all these people.
I don't like the idea of
whole
you
one
saying you're
person at a
active.
time. I don't want to
I don't
talk
like
in
the
front of
idea of
all
you
these
saying that
people.
you're active whenever you're not. You're Michael's
I-
girlfriend. I respect that, but you're not
Yeah,
active.
I didn't say it. No, I didn't say I was active.
The following districts:
What I said
No.
I was active for. I said I wasn't active.
and Sugandese.
It's in the chat.
Numerous instances of bra moments being triggered by cringe
All right.
videos
Well,
have recently occurred
regardless,
across the continental United
if you
States.
can't name an exact thing, I don't
I'm not
necessarily
naming
buy it.
anything in front
Because you
of your
can't.
whole community. I'm sorry.
Because you can't.
No, if you want to have a private discussion, that is completely okay with me, and that's what I think this should be. I don't think this should be a town hall. I think
No, I think it
you
should
guys
be. I
have
think
some shit to work out.
no. Here, the reason why it's a town hall is because it's not. You just had Brian half an hour ago say, "Hey, we should have more transparency in Eden." I agree. Here's it being transparent. Nobody should be holding back anything, and the reason why is because, granted, Black Velvet's project is Eden, but everybody is involved in Eden, and everybody should have equal say. Hence the reason why we're going down through the names and we're telling everybody, "Hey, here's what's going on." So for the idea of you to say, well, people really go after one another, isn't necessarily, it doesn't hold water. And the reason why is because throughout all the town halls that we've ever had, and I always say, does anybody have any suggestions or anything that we can improve? There's not one time to where we've, to where we've thrown people underneath the bus and said, no, that's a stupid idea. That's not what we do. And if you have a exact example, that's fine. Shoot me a PM, and I'd be more than happy to handle it. But I disagree with the idea of you saying, no, this, people going after one another.
Mystery. Yeah. I mean, just everything. I didn't really say much in the conversation last night, but just whenever someone had something to say that you disagreed with, it was just immediately. It was just everything was a meme. You didn't take anything seriously, and it was just
He was going through something last night. Just to
Which
let
he
you know.
did. Which he did apologize for.
okay. I see that. That's fine.
Yeah, Chavez raised a good point. Where last night was just immature and uncivil, not just on Black Velvet, but I think just on everybody. I think everything was just tense.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
Anyway, this whole.
All right. We still have Maple and Black Velvet if they decide to talk. I don't even know. Is Ravioli even alive? Like he's in here, but Mystery, Luna, do you guys have anything to say? Locke? Mm-hmm. Luna? Locke? Brian, I don't have a reason as to why you're silenced because I didn't fucking silence. Anybody else here have a reason? Yeah. Thank you. Locke, do you have anything to say? You're unmuted. Locke, wake the fuck up. Oh my god, he fucking died.
Ban him!
When the world needed him the most. He didn't even go to AFK? Are you fucking my?
He said, "I'm about to head out."
He said, I don't like being in the spotlight. Maple, do you have anything in V? You don't even talking at all. Unless you want unmuted. Okay.
Well, she can't, you know.
Okay. Moss, do you have anything?
Well, basically, maybe you guys are thinking about we're working as some kind of duty, but we're not working. We're not working as a duty. We're just doing this thing as a volunteer, which means, yeah, we can't do it, and we might fail it, but it doesn't matter. It's a volunteer, which means we don't have to do it. We don't have to do this shit for some kind of duty or some kind of order. We don't have to do this thing for that. Yeah. Maybe someday, Eden is gonna corrupt and no one is gonna join the Eden. When that time is happen, then we're gonna leave the Eden. Doesn't matter. We're not gonna keep this thing keep going on. We're just gonna do when we can do it. That's all. Alright, I'm done.
Okay. Oh man, that means I have to talk. me pull my thoughts together. I disagree with the notion as far as, stuff is dying, and it's not that I disagree with that. It just feels a little bit silly in a way, where we have a bunch of people that are saying, "Hey, we see that Eden's dying," but then there's no concrete answer per se. Nyx comes to mind, to where he would always suggest one thing, and then the next minute you ask him, it was something else, or just copycat ideas and stuff. And I'm not saying that you guys are at fault for not giving us ideas, but what I'm saying is we need time to do research and development before we can make these big decisions and shake up, stuff. So I mean, I don't know. I hate the idea of saying, well, let's throw more people into it, or throw people into roles whenever they don't need to fill those roles or whatever. Emirates, I don't feel like it's dying, just not growing. Although I do feel like the SCP server's been active, and they will let it grow a little bit right now. Yeah, absolutely. It's stagnant, but it's not. He's not going anywhere. There's no reason for it to. And as much time and money is invested into Eden, I'm not going to let your Band Poby dog tags or T-shirts go to waste. There's bigger stuff that I would like to do with Eden, but it's not something that can just come in, a couple days or anything like that. Sure, events and stuff we could definitely try to push for. I think my point is that what you guys understand is that we all live personal lives, and the notion of constantly fighting for Eden is great. It's humble. It looks good on pen and paper, but I can't expect my team, which is Black Velvet, or the Discord helpers, or the game moderators, all the volunteers that we have, to just I disagree with the idea of micromanaging them and saying, you guys need to log in this many hours, you guys need to do this many events, all this stuff. I'm extremely thankful for the community that we have and the people that we have helping it. But it's also we can only do so much with what we have. And I wish it was more transparent, and I could easily go into the numbers and say, hey, here's how much we pay out a month. Here's how much of it actually gets benefited. For example, it's there's a $45 for a server, and then there's another 30 for the merch store. And it's you guys don't buy merch. There's nothing wrong with that within the past month, except for I think Triple and somebody buying Kill Will merch. Nobody buys merch. So it's we shouldn't keep paying it whenever we could fund a different server or anything like that. So somebody said, oh no, the store's dying, therefore Eden's dying. That's not the case. It's just we gotta kind of move shit around, find cheaper routes. And it's not just with the store, but it's just with the SCP server. Whenever we took it offline and tried different servers and stuff, there's different shit that we need to experiment with in order for us to grow. There's different stuff that you guys are going to come down the line and say, hey, we really like SCP, but we want something else to happen. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to make sure that we have different stuff. EZ says, rather have a failing mini community rather than a big old professional server. Absolutely. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting to grow. I don't think that there's anything wrong with having a team that is all together. And how do I say this? Whenever we had came up the Minecraft server, this newest one, the idea was, okay, we'll have it to where there'll be a team dedicated to it, and then there'll be a team dedicated to SCP, and then there'll be floaters in between, which will be the Black Velvet. So therefore, you have a team dedicated to whatever. That to me is a decent idea. Yeah, no problem. I just don't want like how you said it, quote unquote. You have to do it this or that. Yeah, I get it. I don't want to be like Blizzard and say you need to log in this many hours, otherwise you're gonna lose your thing. I feel like that's unreasonable. But Triple doesn't have anything to say. Yubu doesn't have anything to say. Ziffy, do you have anything to say?
Luna has something to say.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I wanted to like go back to like what Moss was saying before, or that he meant that like since he said that we're just volunteers, and I agree with that. That's kind of like this is kind of all just for fun, and we've only started this because that's what we wanted to do at the time, and it's still what we want to do. And oh my god, I'm losing track of what I was gonna say. Hold on, give me a minute. Holy fuck. We're all just friends. I like it being just friends. I like the way that people are close with each other. I like the way that we can take breaks or something like that from everything online in general, because things in real life are important. Yeah, I get it that it's like not, you can't hide behind the excuses forever or whatever, but things in real life are more important. There's a shit ton of other things that you have to do in order to be like a functioning person. It's so much, and like everything calls more attention to it than what's your friends online. And that's kind of just the truth. Like, we all still talk to each other. It's not like we're not here. Maybe we can't always host things or whatever, but I mean, I know that a lot of people try. And with the hosting thing, I had suggested that members host their own things, and Chavez pointed out that, oh, it doesn't get any help from Black Velvet. But then I was also like, why don't we help them? And I guess that's more of a question for everyone else. That's like, wouldn't it be nice to like, I don't know, let the members do what they want to do? I don't know if he asked or not, but that's what he kept saying, was that like, oh, we don't help the members or anything hosting their own events. And I was like, I feel like we did though, and we said that it was okay, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess like mostly what I wanted to point out was that like people just have important things to do, and much more important than a Discord server, because it's not the whole world. It's not, really much more than what we want. It's just our friends. And I feel like anyone that's, I guess it kind of bothers me, the people that keep pushing for all the events and stuff. And it's like, I get it that you want more events. Feel free to like bring them up. Feel free to like try to push for them, go ahead. But I feel like there's a point where it's like you're getting mad at us for not hosting them, and you're getting upset at us for having more important things to do in our lives. And it's like I feel like friends, people who care about you, wouldn't ask you to do something that's not important to you, not your top priority, when you have so much more going on at the time. Like, I feel like they would allow you to do what you need to do. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Kathy wants to speak again. If
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so sorry for existing, but that That sounded weird. Again, I know there was closure earlier, but this is addressing what Disco's girlfriend said. I should probably refer to her by her name, but I don't know if she's comfortable with that. So, but she's not here. But still, anyways. Shut up. Oh hell yeah, Triple. I mean, oh hell yeah, individual that messaged me about Dead by Daylight. Anyways, what she addressed, I believe, was that it didn't feel like we were friends from what she had seen from her like perspective and stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, but Disco's here, and you know, I want to at least address what she said rather than just full on just say like that is wrong, you know. So might as well put it out there and put my opinions out there. I mean, if we want to share it with the community, then why? Anyways. Oh no, I have short-term memory loss. Anyways. I think, like, what she saw between you and us? You mean like when you first left?
Yeah. I think.
Okay. Well, I could understand how that might have been perceived as, like, or misconceptualized as, like, you know, a falling out. But I would like to preface this by saying I don't take my experience for granted. I'm open to other people's experience and so forth. But from my experience, I've went through quite a lot of friend groups growing up because I've been on the internet since I was 8. No, 7, sorry. Wait, no. 7 or 8, one of the ages. I remember wearing a dress. But, like, I had a lot of friend groups that, as in more than one at a time, and each of them had people that were older than me, and I had witnessed, like, each of their falling outs and so forth. But I've also witnessed the good ones, and the good ones are the ones that seem, to an outsider, as, not good. Like, we have all these ideals for what love should be, but we also have ideals for what friends should be, and you know, it's a bit unfair to have these thoughts on what friends should be rather than acknowledging that people still look out for you and taking instead how they look out for you for granted because, you know, they're still there. And in my experience, in each of my friend group, there was one person who would go, well, I don't like you guys. It feels like you guys are falling apart. Not in all of them, but in a few of them, most of them. And this person was somebody everybody liked, and this person struggled, emotionally speaking, with, not saying that you do, Disco, but like they were battling a lot of mental problems. Like, at least one of them was, I don't know about the rest, but one of them had depression, and they struggled with coping with it because they didn't have anybody to really lean on properly because they were afraid of their own, like, mom, and it was hard for them, and it was hard for me to see them in that way because they were also a close friend of mine, and they went absent for a few days, and they thought that people were against them because they just thought that everything and everybody didn't like them. And it was hard to see at the time, and nobody knew how to deal with it because they themselves had never really experienced somebody who had depression. They were pretty young. And yes, bleh, sorry. I guess what I'm saying is, like, friend groups aren't always what you think they could be. There could be this dream in your head, that this dream life where, like, everything is this way, but you gotta appreciate what you have while it lasts, and people caring about you is good enough. Like, Mystery and I don't talk that much anymore, but I still consider him, like, a really good friend and still a brother to me. And Tori and I have, like, these content silences, but she and I still hang out or talk occasionally, even if we don't play games together. I still care about her deeply. Oh god, I wish Gus were here. And it's kind of, no offense, but it's kind of dumb to accuse a friend group based on an outsider's perspective, saying and accusing it of falling apart all because one person thinks so. Because, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't take Disco's opinions and feelings into consideration, because I care about him, and I was sad when he left, and, you know, everyone was too. But you have to be critical, and you can't be vulnerable to how they feel. You can't just back them up. And I understand, and now this is the other point, which is where Disco's girlfriend brought up, oh, she's here. Hi. She brought up, like, people attacking, or, like, people being defensive or something. Like, people singling someone else out. And I assume it was Disco in the question. And Think Fast, like, kind of told her, like, he disagreed with that. And the way I see it, the reason why it seems like that right now, last night, Mystery is going through some emotional stuff. Yeah. Last night, Mystery was having his own set of things to deal with emotionally. And right now, what we're doing is we're trying to talk to Disco. So, of course, we have to bring our thoughts to light. And it's not just a hive mind thought, it's our individualized thoughts. And we aren't defending each other as a friend thing, but we're defending each other from our perspective, just as she is for you. And, like, you know, it's I don't really know. It's really hard without any response from Disco to, like, help me understand it. Her I mean, he's speaking in text chat, but, like, it's hard to, without, like, some context on what she meant, like, fully, because I'm not quite sure, unless she wants to, like, respond outright and just clarify.
We can unmute her, I guess.
I wouldn't mind, but only if she has something to say.
Unmute Emmy. Okay. Yep.
Oh, okay. I think I think it was really just a generalization of what happened last night and what happened in the past when I was Black Velvet. And I think what it seemed like to her perspective, because when bad things would happen, I would talk to her about the bad things that happened, you know? And I think that's sort of how she perceived it. And it wasn't always like that. I think sometimes that what she's saying was a bit right, but I think she generalized it a lot.
So you think that she, like, was basing it because you only told her the bad stuff?
No, I told her the good stuff. Like, she was saying Eden was great and
Oh, yeah.
good friends and stuff, but I think she's just generalizing some stuff I said.
Do you agree with her?
A little bit.
On what?
A little bit on sort of jumping on people. Not just people in general. Me.
Again, we care about you, and what we're doing here is because of what you said and what you brought on.
Yeah.
And we are talking to you because we want to reason with you, and we want to. This is from our perspectives. It's not just separate. Because I wasn't here before that happened. I joined back to see or hear what would have happened, and to, you know, listen on Town Hall. I didn't think I would talk, but we're talking from our own experience and not just from a hive mind experience. We're talking to you, and we're trying to talk to you because, like, they did it with me before. I was going through some stuff, and Sydney and Mystery and so forth, like, confronted me, and they comforted me in voice chat. This isn't with the rest of the Bumblebees, but stuff had happened, and, like, they were there for me. And I think what they're trying to do is do that for you too, but it's a bit hard with the community in on it because, like, I know Brian wants the community to be involved, but
listen,
this
Cassie,
is still a thing within Blackwell.
I want to be frank. I'm not coming from the outside. I know everyone's. I know you're not hive mind.
Yeah, thank God.
I know how you guys are. You guys are my friends. So it's like, again, I wouldn't pay too much mind to what she said. I think it was based on a generalization that she made. I don't think you guys are out to get me. I don't think that. I think in some cases in the past there has been some situations where it really seemed like that way. And last night, with the way everything was handled, was just a disaster. On my part and on your guys' part. Yeah. It wasn't just you, It's okay.
I'm glad, because I was afraid that you were agreeing with her and that you thought we didn't like you or something. Like, I was afraid that you thought we were against you, I guess. To put it correctly, I guess. I just didn't want you to think that. What was that?
I just seen Izzy's smells bad.
He just noticed that. It's been there for like 6 months or something.
Okay.
What the fuck? I've never seen it there.
Got him.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to know. Thank you.
All right. Does Locke? You missed out on your draft, you Dodger. Is there anything that you want to say? We're going around and letting people air out their grievances. Is there anything that you want to say before you give the mic to Brian? Okay. You have 5 to 10 minutes. Say or sing, whatever to your little heart's content.
Hey everyone. I just want to say E.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
God damn it. No more e-posting. Please and thank you. Brian? No. Brian, 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. And then, yeah. And we're going to go from there.
All right. I wanted to talk about a few things, like the just things that didn't really matter, like the Minecraft thing. This was more of a thing why I wanted to talk to you about, but I kind of wanted it to be in all of this. So with the Minecraft thing, it's just a stupid Minecraft argument. We were building a tunnel under all around, going to people's bases. Yeah, we were the rats, and I just think I didn't like the way you handled it in a way that like there was no room for compromise. Because we gladly would have cut off half the tunnel and moved it somewhere else, sent it to a different location. But just like deleting the tunnel entirely, it just doesn't really seem fair. You know what I mean?
I mean, I understand that, but with the way that the plugins are going to be set up, if a griefer or somebody gets into that tunnel, then it can completely fuck up somebody's base.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
but
I'd rather prevent that.
Well, the thing is, everybody knows where everybody else's bases are, so like the tunnels don't lead directly into people's bases. That's the thing. I didn't want them to.
You literally did in my house.
Oh,
yeah,
we did?
Yeah, it literally you go down his mine shaft and it's right there off to the left. It's like the second hole off to the left.
Oh well, I didn't. Yeah, there's no opening. We didn't want it to lead to people's houses. I wanted it to more be of a mode of transportation and less of just like a subway or a sewer. But that was the whole point of making it to people's houses, like it's their plumbing.
We're just trying to have fun. You ruined us.
Yeah, you ruined us. We were trying to have fun, but whatever. It's just I think handling it in such a corporate manner is not the way to go about things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like yes and no.
Because we were willing to compromise. We offered to, because Poby didn't want it in his base. I think Soda said he didn't care, right? Yeah, Soda didn't care, and And we generally, well, I didn't. If I made a tunnel, I did not put it into anyone's base. I wanted to put a drainage pipe out on a hill near Poby's base. I didn't want it to lead directly into his house. I wanted it to lead to a drainage pipe. But he just kind of like broke in and broke everything. And there was no actual like way to get to Poby's house from the way we did it. We just had like a little altar set up and everything, and it all led to one drainage area. And that was really all we did at Poby's house. So that's why I was mad about that. And oh yeah, you can talk.
Poby would like. Where did Poby go?
I don't know. No, there he is.
Okay.
Okay.
Poby,
So,
you're able to talk.
I know, I heard.
You just have to unmute yourself.
I hate you, Red. There was a house in the basement. There was no way up. There was an entire room in there. I have the book that you left it for us.
Read the book. No. That one.
I read the book.
Yeah,
However,
that one was just kind of messy with you. That one wasn't really. That was just because you're talking shit about our tunnels.
I told you guys I was uncomfortable with like the shit you guys were saying. Like, oh, Poby, I live in your house. I sleep in your bed. I told you guys I was uncomfortable. I don't know you, Ryan. I don't know who you are. That
we were
shit
just
I do with
messing
my
with you.
friends.
But
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
you know who Disco was.
Easy.
Yeah, I know who Disco is, but that, that doesn't speak for you.
Yeah, Disco was. Me and Disco were kind of doing that stuff together. But besides that, the Minecraft thing, I thought the whole argument was stupid, and we were willing to compromise, and you weren't, and I didn't like that. I thought, if we made a compromise, that could be fair.
I'm not willing to compromise whenever.
Well, it wouldn't be pertaining to Poby.
Poby has tried pulling the same stuff, and I've had to smack that down. And I don't do it because I'm trying to target you.
No, I get
because that. I said it to Michael, to where if I have to enforce the rules for one set of people, I have to enforce them for everybody. And whenever the server goes live, it's going to have to be the same way.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, we are digging, right? And we just made tunnels. But when we were saying we could compromise, we would make the tunnel go somewhere else. Not even, near Poby's house, just away from Poby's house.
The hole was still there. So, I mean, sure, you're right.
Yeah, but you could do that with the protections anyway. You could still dig a huge hole. That's the whole point of Minecraft. That's why the argument was the way it was.
With plugins only have a limited range of what you can claim, and it's based on how much money you generate in the economy.
Well, we weren't planning on claiming the tunnels. We were going to just leave the tunnels there, and if people wanted to grief them, whatever.
But that's the point, though, because if they use the tunnels to get access to other people's base and then grief, then you're looking at the person that's going to have to fix it. You're looking at the person that would have to fix it.
Yeah, if people are uncomfortable with the tunnels going there, then we could just move them. It's not that hard to reroute a tunnel. But, if the protections are enabled, then they shouldn't be able to break into the person's house either way. And, yeah, that's really all I want to say on the Minecraft thing. But I had one more thing to talk about with the whole, the silencing thing. I just wanted to talk to Mystery about that.
Is it something that you guys can do in a PM? Or
I wanted to just say this publicly. And, I'm not going to go against Mystery. I don't have anything against Mystery. And it's just, you can't just silence people just because you think they might do something. Because this was a serious topic, and I was unable to take part in it because I was silenced. And I said one thing, which was hello, boys. That was the only thing I said. And I was silenced immediately. And that doesn't seem right. And then I was made so that I couldn't see any of the chat or anything in the whole thing. And that just... Yeah, I think the whole thing of just, you can't silence someone for no reason. If you wanted to privately message me... What? Alright, what was the reason?
You have a track record of being a troll.
How? Where?
Literally every single time you've ever joined this voice chat.
Do we seriously need to talk about this
Not
again
only
and
that,
again?
on the Minecraft server, you have a fucking swastika on your fucking head.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Shiva
I just
was
downloaded
So
a rat.
don't say it's for no reason.
Okay,
Don't
listen.
even.
I got that rat skin. And I didn't know the swastika was on my head until
Oh, I didn't
Michael
know
told
the
me.
swastika was on my head. No, you
I'll send you
full
a
well
screenshot.
it was there.
I'll send you a screenshot. You can't see it in Minecraft from any angle if you're the first person view. There is no way to see it's there. You can't see the top of your head.
Motherfucker, you download the PNG. What the fuck?
Yeah, I
What?
just downloaded a rat that had a gold chain. All right. Now let me finish. Okay. But you can't just silence people just because like this was a serious topic. All right. Serious topic. If I started saying stuff, but you had people who were memeing the entire time and they weren't silenced. That's the problem I have with it. If you were silencing me because you thought I was gonna meme or I started memeing and you were like, okay, we can't have that. That's understandable. But there was people doing it the entire time, and they weren't silenced. That's why I have a problem.
And they
with
apologized.
Yeah, but I didn't even get. I didn't meme
because you have a track record.
Yeah,
that's not how that works.
It kind of is.
Excuse me?
I had a track record in video games of memeing. All right, on serious topics though, that's different. All right. I did not do that. I did not do that. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
All right. You're getting the meat. All right. Here is what I want out of this. And I'm not saying this from a authoritarian type thing or anything like that. Those of you that have, stated your piece as far as everything goes tonight. I want you guys to put in suggestions what you want to come out of this. And then tomorrow we'll revisit again and go from there. It'll be a clean slate, no hard feelings. I'm not banning anybody or anything like that. I think, like Disco was concerned that somebody was going to get banned. Shit like that. While I have you all here, Minecraft server is going to be going down for some updates probably tonight. Tomorrow should be pretty good. Tomorrow's Friday. Might do a event on it if you guys are interested. But yeah, put stuff in suggestions. That's what the channel is there for. Try to keep it serious. We're gonna be going through it. The Black Velvet and I are probably gonna stick around and talk about shit. Just kind of reflect on it. But if you guys have anything that you want to discuss privately, or want to put in suggestions, feel free to do that. And no hard feelings over what was said. As far as like Jukia and our couple or people, I don't think anybody tries to get heated. I think it just happens because that's the first initial reaction whenever you're in an argument. So, again, I hope everybody kind of. Okay, that's fine, mystery. But yeah, we're all gonna, as far as the Black Velvet, we're all gonna discuss it and then gonna read what you guys put in suggestions. You can put it in tonight. You can put it in tomorrow. Try to have it in before the end of, 7 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll go through everything. Oh no, I agree. I think it turns into an argument whenever we have the conversation. Yeah, also, if you guys see Soda, point out that he missed a lot. Just add him. I don't care.
Soda stinks.
No, how did you fucking get on mute? God damn.
Oh, like this?
Oh.
Howard.
Okay.